Welcome to Could It Exist in Real Life, where the super soldier is less complicated than you think. What started as a controversial comic before their involvement in World War II ended up as one of America's greatest prides. Captain America was one of the crown jewels of the comic book superhero business. It was one of Marvel Comics' back when it was called Timely Comics' first superheroes, the other two being the Human Torch and Namor the Submariner. The cover depicted here is one of the most iconic comic covers in the world, along with Superman lifting a car in Action Comics #1. However, that didn't stop there. Captain America was also one of the first Marvel superheroes to have its own adaptation in the form of movie serials, and was also the first founding member of Marvel's greatest superhero team, the Avengers. I first heard of the Avengers when I was a kid. I had the Super NES version of the game, which I still find hard to beat. However, I never truly knew about the Cap and his origins until watching Spider-Man the Animated Series, which had one episode where Spider-Man was trying to find the truth about his missing parents and further along in the Secret Wars. Recently I found that the Cap in the series was voiced by David Hyder, who I know as Solid Snake in Guyver 1. That's right, folks, the 70s may have had Red Brown and 2010 may have had Chris Evans, but we 90s nuts had Solid fucking Snake. Ha! But I ramble on. You guys didn't view this blog to hear me brag about who had the bigger badass to play the Cap. You want to know if someone like Captain America exists to this day. Let's find out. For those unfamiliar with the story, Steve Rogers was a frail and weak man, but he was extremely good-hearted, strong-willed, and patriotic. Too bad that's only half of what the Army wants in a soldier. After numerous times he got rejected from the Army. Seriously, this guy's dedicated. A scientist takes pity on him and volunteers him to be the prototypes of a super soldier program designed to enhance the volunteer's natural abilities to near Olympic level strength. However, after Steve gets his dose, the polar guy gets gunned down by Nazi spies. The secret of the formula is lost forever. This in turn pretty much caused the events of every bad thing happening in Marvel history, including Norman Osborn's transformation into the Green Goblin. That's right, folks, along with other things, Nazis are to blame for Peter Parker's eternal torment, something one more day didn't erase. Since then, Steve Rogers has fought in World War II, got frozen, thawed, and became one of the founding members of the Avengers, got shot, and now formed a super team between the Avengers and the X-Men. Captain America has been known for plenty of abilities such as superhuman strength, speed, and an indestructible shield that he can use as a boomerang. There's no way he can exist, right? Could it exist in real life? Well, as surprising as it sounds, he can exist. Let's start with the super soldier serum. Now, before I go through with it, let me tell you something. Yes, there have been many attempts to make the formula, machine, and concept to enhance the human body. The most popular means was mentioned in the Dracula analysis called blood doping, which I also do not advise. The other thing is anabolic steroids, which I also do not advise. However, despite all failed attempts at making one, there was one succession. It's a fictional one, but it counts. While the Triple S formula's details were not revealed, Marvel claimed that one of the key ingredients for it was potassium, which has been known to be healthy for the heart. In a later retcon, the scientists in charge of creating the formula discovered before he died that the formula could also be created through a certain diet and exercise program which works, but is more time-consuming than just injecting Steve. You heard it here, folks. The key to becoming a super soldier is proper diet and exercise. How that scientist managed to compress all that into a serum is beyond me, but it's Marvel. They believe in deals with the devils that can warp reality. The next item on the list is a shield, or more specifically the metal it is made of, vibranium. Among most properties it can generate and absorb energy, is nigh indestructible, and can ricochet off everything. Suffice to say, this concept exists, and the element has a real-life equivalent, but this defictionalization is inconclusive. According to LiveScience.com, the closest thing to vibranium is anoseptium, both of which were created by particle accelerators. However, unlike vibranium, anoseptium to this day is unstable and decays fast before any proper testing can be made. So there you have it. If you want Captain America, eat right, exercise, and consult a physicist on making a shield. As usual, debate, argue, and let me know what I missed. Stay tuned for more.